I'm just throwing over it in my head. Let me start. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. How to do it? All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go subscribe to this new channel. It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yo, what's different about this channel than the last one?
Well,
what's changed?
Well, we're making some changes. We're always doing something new, but this is something that we had to do this, and we've had to do this for a while. So this new channel, it's really not much different, except the channel will be different. So all our new content is going on the channel, and we're going to migrate all our videos over to that channel as well, and we won't be using the old channel. So if you're waiting on that channel, you'll be missing it. So please do subscribe to our new channel, and it's real easy. Follow us on Facebook, thevoiceofstockton.org. You can find us everywhere. Keep watching us on our live streams, but that's it. We just wanted to break in and tell you that.
And let's make Stockton better together.
That's right. Make Stockton better together. All right. So, you know what? Let's start this track over because this is the best bomb song. And thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. KXVS, the Voice of Stockton with Donovan and Mr. Details, Dustin Breakwell. This is Governor Don signing off.
My name is Miriam, and I am the voice of Stockton.
Welcome, everyone. You are tuned in to Breaking Barriers with Art here with Jocelyn. I'm your host, and I think I better change. Oh, there you go. I hear it now. Okay. There was something wrong with my headset initially, but here we go. Breaking Barriers with Art on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton. We have got a couple cool guests with me today. Actually, they're return guests. So they were here, I thought, 2 months ago, but it was actually 4 months ago, back in June, when we had all those really awesome programs here at the library. They were around during the summer programming sessions at the library. But before we do that, I just want to let you guys know that if you want to know a little bit more about the station, KXVS 92.1 FM, you can go to kxvs.org and check out the website. There's different membership tiers there, and a variety of ways that you can show your support. We are a 501c3, so a lot of the donations and contributions that you make are tax deductible. So there goes my administrative stuff that I have to put out there. But anyway, I want to introduce you guys to Jeff Porto with Shedskin Repitles and Zion Johnson with Tracy Comic Show. And
good morning.
Hello. We I actually had them in here last time for the Shedskin Reptile more portion of it, but this time we're going to talk a lot more about the Tracy Comic Show that's coming up in November. We have a bunch of people that actually got together. There's quite a few people that are working on this show that's happening out in Tracy, right off the freeway there. And
working very hard.
Yeah. Let's see. It's at 1005 East Pescadero Avenue in Tracy, so they're all, the locations are back to back, right next door to each other, right?
Yes.
On November 4th. And
Easier location is Highway 205 at MacArthur.
Okay. So let's talk about a little bit about like the history of how I know Jeff and Zion. Jeff came over here to do a show with his crew, the Shedskin crew, back in June at the Maya Angelou Library, I believe, Troki. Also, there were 3 locations, right? Or more than
that, yeah.
More than that.
Quite a few of them.
And the main library at Chavez.
Yes.
Actually, I have some pictures here. It's going to rotate through, but they brought over some incredible reptiles, and it's they always do this really cool educational program where the kids can take a look at some of the reptiles, the lizards, snakes, and other different animals that they have at the store, and
hold them.
Yeah, they're some of them overcame some of the fears, which is actually pretty awesome.
Oh
yeah. So, what kind of different animals did you guys bring over that Chavez? You guys had a bunch of stuff.
Anywhere from a tarantula to
you guys
iguanas,
too.
monitor lizards, anacondas, boas, pythons. As you can see, the python right there, the albino one. We brought some venomous ones, false water cobras, Mexican beaded lizard.
Okay.
Highly venomous.
Yeah. So, just to give everyone an idea, so they have been here. And that's not like the first time you guys have been here during the programs, right?
Not at all.
You guys came in 2016 also.
Yes.
I think, yeah. Yeah, so the kids had a blast. I was at 2 of the shows that they were here for, the one at Maya Angelou and the one at Chavez, and It was awesome. Huge turnout. They filled up that room at Chavez, and the kids had a blast. I mean, they were just so eager to learn more about these really exotic animals as we would normally see it, because we're usually used to, you know, the usual canine and feline type, but these are a little bit more exotic and unique. But the kids were awesome, and you guys were really good with them as well.
Thank you.
I mean, they just, you know, something different for the kids. But now for the Tracy comic show, there's how did it happen where the Tracy comic show and the Reptile Expo combine? I mean, you guys were involved with the Tracy comic show through Make-A-Wish Foundation, or you guys started it with Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that, how that all happened?
So Jeff, he's been into reptiles pretty much his whole life, and so that's how we had the reptile show start. But then, like, one of my own passions is comics and comic books specifically. Like, people, when we say comics, they think maybe like comedians. Not that.
No.
But, so for the comic books, we decided to do the show because we saw what happened with like Make-A-Wish and the Bad Kid situation there. And so we wanted, like, because we already had some experience doing the Reptile Expo, so we decided to do something in comics, and then we ended up getting on the same day because it would be more convenient, not only for our own organization and setting it up, but also it would be more like convenient for the consumers and customers.
A lot easier for us to.
Yeah, make it one day. Heck, why not? I mean, and then you've got your cosplayers there, and you can add that additional boa along with the costume, right?
What was the difference between comic geeks and reptile geek? It's kind of the same thing, and they kind of play over each
We're
other.
all really passionate about the things that we love, so, and those are very unique things.
Yep.
So, who are some of the guests that you're going to have at the Tracy Comic Con?
Okay, so the main one that we have is going to be Kevin Eastman. He was the one who, one of the creators for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're going to have some of the return guests, such as Margaret Carey, who was the original Tinkerbell. We have
was she like the original? Did she do the voice or the voice for Tinkerbell?
It's I think it's the what do they call it, playover or
like
cosplay,
like the person who they based the character, like the physical person that they based the character
okay.
And so for the scenes and setup for that.
But she doesn't fly very well anymore, but she still does this certain things.
Yeah. Okay, so what time does it start when you guys you guys are setting up and everything? So what time does the actual show start as opposed to like the actual setup time? Because I bet there's all kinds of vendor booths and everything else that are going on over there for both, right?
Well, setup time will be the day before on a Friday,
Yeah.
and then for you can get there if you're a vendor, and then Saturday morning we open up at 7 for vendors to get ready, and then 10 o'clock is when both days 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how much organizing and putting everything together with pulling different people from different areas to just have this one event. It's huge. So if you Shedskin Reptiles here, Jeff Porto is my guest. If you want to find out a little bit more about them, it's shedskin.net on the internet. And also for the Tracy comic show, it's becomeonevoice.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So again, the Tracy Comic Show and Reptile Expo is on November 4th through November 5th. That's a Saturday and Sunday at 1005 East Pescadero Avenue in Tracy. So, so it looks like there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be doing the cosplaying, and that's always a lot of fun. And let's see. I'm going to go over to the website. It's actually called Exponential, right? Exponential 2017?
Yeah, that's one of the terms that we have.
Yeah, we're playing on that word right now, but we're coming up with a different word.
Exponential. Yeah.
This might be our last year having it there.
Oh, really?
Because the store will stay there, but
the venue.
we can't rely on the empty or the vacant rooms that we use because the shopping area is filling up. So we might have to look for a different city, possibly Modesto, because they have a big civic center. We could put actually both events in one building.
Instead of having to like walk between the buildings, which sometimes is an inconvenience.
That's true. Well, currently the way it's set up, it's at least adjacent to each other. Like next door to
Oh
each
yeah,
other.
it's all in the same
Okay.
complex, so walking distance.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I got some other pictures in here.
So it's going to be comics, reptiles, and then the third section is celebrity panels, where you can ask them questions, take photos. There's some signatures signature or sort of signing involved.
So people can bring their own, or they can purchase the items there.
And there's somebody else. Who are the other celebrities going to be there?
Like the Disney animator Dave Woodman's going to be there. There's going to be, I believe, like one of the people who did like some acting for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the 90s and stuff.
How fun.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a total blast. People are going to love it. I do have some passes that Jeff gave me before. I have some more. So I think what Erica's been doing is she's been kind of putting them together with some like the rocks, right? The painted rocks. Right?
Morgan and Rachel have been painting small size rocks with certain superheroes emblems on there. That's so cool. Some animals on there too, to represent the reptile part of it, and then hiding them in certain areas of Tracy, either stores or out on the ground somewhere, like in parks or schools. And if you find them, it shows that you have a free pass or a BOGO pass, which is you buy one, you get one. And it's kind of cool little rock, because back in the 70s you used to have something called pet rocks. So you can actually use these pet rocks.
I know, it's funny because the Stockton rocks one really took off, and apparently it's already been around nationally for a while prior to Stockton's taking off. But the one in Stockton grew like a lot, like exponentially. So I think I'm going to do that. Actually, I started doing that before, and I put some of the passes out the way Erica did it, where she painted some and then she added the passes to the rock, and then she placed it out there and people were able to find it. It's kind of cool idea. So so I've got a whole bunch of these. So what I'm going to do next week, I'm not going to have a show. I'm actually going to go out and put the rocks out there with these passes, so everybody, it's going to be like a little Easter egg hunt with some of these the comic show complimentary passes. So so what have you guys been up to? I mean, the last time you guys were here, this was like June. I thought it was only 2 months ago. It's gone by so fast. And I've been meaning to stop by the store for the longest time. I think back then you guys had like different...
well, we've been doing a few comic shows as vendors, but also bringing reptiles to obviously advertise the reptile part of it. And we've been getting a lot of positive reaction to it because of the mixture. And because, like I said before, if you're into comics, you're into reptiles too, or vice versa, or they're just as unique as they are. And so we've been doing that. Obviously, reptile expos, passing out the flyers for both. And I've been doing some churches and schools since then with the reptiles.
I love the educational aspect of it. He really does give a good positive twist to some of these animals, because I know that there was a point too where you guys were raising funds, and then you distributed out to different charities to help the different animals as well. What's going on over there? I mean, it's kind of segueing off to another thing, but what's going on with all the fires and stuff? It's so important to help these animals out. A lot of them are completely displaced, and they need a place to stay. So I see a lot of people getting together and getting, food and different types of necessary things for these animals. But I mean, snakes, I don't know what would happen to them if that had, if you had some reptiles in your home and they had to evacuate real quick. They probably would not go near the fire.
I would probably be one of those ones that probably wouldn't leave unless I got all my animals out, and that's it might be dumb in a way, but unfortunately or at least open
like if I just completely don't have time, maybe open some of the latches for some of the reptiles and stuff. They'd figure it out, I think. I don't know. But okay, so again, we're talking about the upcoming Tracy comic show, and that is on November 4th and 5th for those of you that are just tuning in. And it's going to be really cool. They're going to have a bunch of cosplayers there, and different vendors. I mean, it's almost like a miniature Comic-Con. I mean, pretty much. I mean, you've got the different vendors and probably different unique items that you can find over there as well.
That's what it is. It's only our 5th year, so it's getting there. Everything has to start somewhere, and Tracy doesn't have much going on, so this is one of those type of things that if it's done in Tracy, that the city needs to get together and promote it so more people. Which is kind of weird, is because you do run into some people that say, "Hey, I'd never even heard about it." It's like,
I know.
We try to do the best advertisement possible, and sometimes it's
there's a lot of that over here too. Like I didn't even realize that there's a bunch of different events and stuff that take place. What was that?
Piece of paper.
Okay. So for those of you that are just tuning in, log on to shedskin.net and you can get some information on Jeff Porto and Shedskin Reptiles, who's going to be part of the Reptile Expo over in Tracy on November 4th and 5th. And also, what was it? Exponential. BecomeOneVoice.com. There's more information over there for you to check out. And they're the ones that are putting together the Tracy comic show. And I just wanted to go over some of these pictures. I took these pictures the last time you guys were here at Chavez Library. And just to give you an idea, there's a boa constrictor. Let's see. Oh, and an albino one. That one was pretty huge. The kids loved that one. And then...
those are our smaller snakes, though.
The smaller ones? And then you must have, like, the little tiny ones then. Okay, there. What's that one? That one looks kind of cool.
I don't have my glasses on. I can't see.
It's more of a spotted...
Could have either been the anaconda or...
Yeah, it was the yellow anaconda. That's what
Yes, it was very yellow. So, yeah, and it's got the really cool... So just to give you guys... Are you guys planning on coming back here again? Maybe next year for another...
I get invited every year. Yeah, that's up to them. I don't just show up. I have to get invited.
Yeah.
And they usually do. It's not only me, but they also hire a magician, some bubble making thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm one of the things that they hire, and it is pretty cool.
Always pretty cool for the summer. Oh, that chameleon was actually here at the station. I believe that's the same chameleon. He was just chill. And he turned different colors. He was pretty angry at one point, but no, I'm just kidding. He wasn't really angry.
They get kind of moody.
They get kind of moody. Yeah. So we've got, let's see, what else do we want to talk about?
Oh, the comic thing is, if you're that much into comics and you like to dress up, please come to our comic show dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We have
Yes.
little contest regarding the best dress, who's made up their own costume instead of buying it, all that type of stuff. So, make it like one of those things. Come dressed up and have fun.
Yeah, that's the cosplay part of
There'll
it.
be a lot of people
Wow.
there.
And-
It's so elaborate. I mean, there's some that are really fancy. I know that I saw some pictures of Morgan in some of her costumes and stuff, and they're pretty fancy.
Yeah.
So you guys are having like an actual contest, or
Yeah, different age groups as well. Like adults will have their own contest, and then like
Mhm.
kids will have theirs. Because I mean, it's not
How
really fair if
cool.
you have them all together.
That's
sometimes.
awesome. Yeah, I've seen some of the super elaborate ones. Okay, let's see. When we were here at the Stockton Con, wow. Did you guys
Oh, yeah.
ever make it to Stockton Con?
Yeah,
Yeah, did you guys go?
yeah. This last year there was a lot of people for sure.
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
gotten a lot
Cool.
bigger. You guys should next year. You guys should have like a vendor booth there.
At which one?
At the Stockton Con
We were
over
there.
here at
Were
the
we
arena. Were you guys there?
We weren't there as vendors. I think we were
Oh,
just walking
gotcha.
around.
Yeah. You guys were carrying your snakes around during the actual one here at the arena?
It was. I think it was John was there.
Was
yeah,
John there?
John was there?
I wasn't sure. I was like,
Hey,
Yeah,
I know we didn't do
John.
that.
Yeah, and we do that. It's just an attraction because most people don't expect to have a snake around you, and they're going, "Holy
Yeah.
crap, what's that?"
Yeah.
And then, or someone would like to take it with their Superman uniform on or whatever, and then they take a
Yeah.
photo with the
Pretty
snake.
awesome.
And it's an attraction.
Yeah.
Gets people thinking.
Definitely. So you'll see a lot more of that it's kind of cool because it's like in a smaller scale. So it's not, it's more isolated, and you can see a lot of that at the Tracy Expo, Reptile Expo and comic show.
For the comic one, I think there's about 100 vendors for the comic
Wow.
one, and the reptile one, it's just getting there. I think there's 35, but there should be more. Since the Santa Rosa one was canceled for this weekend because of the fires, that we're getting some of those vendors over to us, and
Sweet. Yeah.
hopefully
That's a
add a little
lot
bit
of
more.
vendors. I don't know how Erica does that. Just pulling everybody in and just like, go Erica.
during these few months of trying to put this together, I don't even get to talk to her that much unless I send her a text or something like that. She's always talking
That's
to
what I
somebody
do.
else.
I'm in the other room with my
Yeah.
daughter. What are you doing? completely different part of the house, but still within the same house. But yeah. So we've got that, and then what else is going on? You guys have all kinds of stuff. Who are the different vendors? Can you just name some of them?
For the reptiles?
For the show.
Oh. Well, we're having Carl Persons there.
Comic show.
He's a venomous snake expert that comes over there and shows you a few venomous snakes, from the most powerful venomous snake to rattlesnakes, a cobra. He also, it's an educational program too, just like mine, but his explains that venomous snakes are not just out there to kill things with their venom. It's also used in medical research for anything from Alzheimer's to people that go through I have one of those moments myself. Strokes and other blood problems, because the venom has to deal with the blood, so it's in certain medicines. Then we have a classroom safari that shows up, and we have a sloth, porcupine, a serval cat, fox, a lemur, things that are unusual to other than reptiles, but it's to get people there to go, you know what? Holy smokes, I've never seen a sloth before. I mean, who has?
They're so cute. They're just
very,
like
very, very awesome looking. So, I mean, a few little things there. And then the vendors are from all over California to vend their stuff, anywhere from ball pythons, which is the most popular, to chameleons and frogs and other types of snakes and stuff, and also dry goods, the aquariums, the lights, and so if you can have your whole setup there,
that's
without
good.
even having to go anywhere else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys really need to check that out. And there's a lot of people there that really know their stuff. So, you know, if you have any questions or anything like that, or if you're just kind of like new to the whole, they call it exotic pets, right?
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing. If you're new to reptiles and you just have some questions, you're a little bit hesitant, you know, definitely check out this show on November 4th and 5th, because everyone that can answer your questions will be there when it comes to reptiles and exotics.
And one of the important things is the price to get in is for both venues and both days.
Okay.
So, I mean, most of the prices for each one of these expos is $10 to $15. Well, this is for two venues. One's reptiles, one's comics, and then there's a third one, the celebrity panels.
That's awesome.
And also, it's both days. So if you forget something, forget to get that snake that you wanted, come back the next day and you've already paid.
Yeah, so I think you can actually purchase the tickets over here at shedskin.net.
Online.
Yeah, so I'll make it real convenient and get you guys set up. And like you said, there's two shows. So get the ticket for one show and you can go to both, which is huge. A lot of resources there for you. So some of the different vendors you've got for the comic show side, do you guys have obviously you guys have like comic book vendors and stuff, graphic novel vendors and stuff,
toys,
artists, the toys, and the different sculpted toys. You know, it's your basic and standard Comic-Con type show. But like I said,
I'm sorry, you got people there that actually make you look dead.
Yeah, face painting.
Things sticking out of your
painting.
head. What's that called?
Like face painting and like prosthetics as well. Like that.
The prosthetics.
Pretty cool.
Holy smokes.
That is cool.
I think these guys walked up to me last year. Morgan had some horns sticking out. She looked half dead and all this stuff. And
I was made into like a zombie, and I had like
very theatrical.
Some of those makeup artists are amazing. There was one, they even had there was one here. I remember they put it looked like their body was torn open, but it wasn't. I mean, it was just all painted, but just the way they knew where the light hit and everything, and it just worked. It looked pretty
very
cool.
talented.
Yeah, so they got different sculptures, different graphic novel vendors, the comic book vendors, different artists,
toys.
Yeah, toys. And so you guys need to check it out. It's on the November 4th and 5th. Check out the different website that they have where you can get the information, shedskin.net for those of you that are just tuning in, as well as becomeonevoice.com. And once again, the address is 1005 East Pescadero Avenue in Tracy. So we are totally looking forward to having that, checking that out. I think I told you back in June that I'm looking into possibly another a snake again, because I haven't had one in a while, and the other one we had didn't. It was getting, they live for a while.
Yeah.
I think I had mine for 10 or 15 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And
do you have a ball python now?
No, that's the one that I had last.
Nice,
yeah.
Well, in the ball python world, that's probably one of the best snakes to have as a pet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to get past that. They do eat rodents.
They all do, though, don't they?
Yeah. Well, there's one snake out there that eats eggs, called the egg-eating snake.
And some
okay.
insects, and depending on like the size of the snake.
Oh, and there's ones, the garter snakes, they actually eat fish and
some lizards,
slugs and lizards and stuff
Do they
like
eat
that.
crickets and stuff? Not really the snakes.
nah.
I know the lizards do that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But the ball python, you're looking at over 3,000 different genes. So you can spend $35 on a normal or 35 grand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Depending on the pattern and the different
Depending on
colors.
the pattern.
Yeah. There's so many different patterns nowadays. I remember when I first got my ball python, it was just the very basic, very standard, pattern. And now, like a decade later, there's, I don't even know, like
Designs,
a
colors.
bunch of different colors and patterns.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It's all to do with genes. Different
Yeah.
style genes get introduced. And
How long does it take for the gestational period for the snakes?
well, most of them, if they're egg layers, you're looking at about 65 days to 80 days, sometimes a little bit longer for the egg to
Okay,
hatch.
so 3 months.
But what you might not know is there's only 2 types of snakes. One's a python, lays eggs. One's a boa, does not lay eggs. They come out live.
Yeah.
So the live can take anywhere from a few months on up to 7 months before they have their kids. And they come out live just like humans do.
So what's the mortality rate with eggs versus live? I mean, do most of them make it as when they're little eggs trying to get out?
It's probably
or
about the same, but now you have incubation to do with the eggs. So that relies on you because you just put them in an incubator. And then the live birth relies on the mom and how mature she is, how many times she's had this. And, some
That's
don't
cool.
make it,
Yeah.
just like anything
Yeah.
else. But it is a lot better than in the wild. In the wild, less than 13% will survive of any babies. And in captivity, it's usually close to 100%.
Yeah.
Because they have no predators.
all the predators, owls and birds, and
And they get fed often.
Yes, that's true. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to have some questions for Jeff and Zion from a few of our viewers. So we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you very much.
KXVS on 92.1. Coming soon.
Did you know one gas lawnmower emits about the equivalent of 40 late model cars? From the Valley Air District, this is your Healthy Air Living Report. Electric mowers are easier to use, lighter, and quieter than gas mowers, with no spills and no emissions. And they work just as well on an average size lawn. Now it's easier than ever to replace your old gas mower with an electric model and get as much as $250 off with Clean Green Yard Machines, the lawnmower trade-in program from the Valley Air District. Just visit the grants section of valleyair.org for program details, an application, and a list of all the participating scrap metal dealers in the San Joaquin Valley where you can turn in your old polluting gas mower. Once you've purchased one of the many eligible electric mowers, send in your receipt, application, and verification that you retired your old gas burner, sit back, and wait for your money. That's valleyair.org. Clean Green Yard Machines. This has been your Healthy Air Living Report from the Valley Air District. Warm, stagnant weather may be the catalyst for ground-level ozone, but you can make a difference. From the San Joaquin Valley Air District, this is your Healthy Air Living Report. The valley's bowl-like shape and weather do help create the perfect conditions to breed high levels of smog. But the emissions we create are the main ingredient of this type of air pollution. What you do on a daily basis does make a difference. So help us reduce harmful emissions by living a healthy air life and thinking about where you can reduce your pollution-producing activities. We must leave no stone unturned when searching for ways to clean our valley's air and protect public health. For a list of ideas on how you can help, visit healthyairliving.com. That's healthyairliving.com. This has been your Healthy Air Living Report from the Valley Air District.
KXVS LP Stockton.
Hey, welcome back to Breaking Barriers with Art. Sorry. We're giving Jeff a hard time. We're like, no, it's your hearing, dude.
I couldn't hear nothing out of my headphones here, and they're telling me,
like,
no,
no,
why not?
Jeff, what's
and I
wrong
start
with
pulling
you?
the cord, and I go, I'm not plugged in. That's why.
That was too cute.
Now I can hear you.
You're like, wow, magic.
Cool.
Okay, so welcome back to Breaking Barriers. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and today we've got Jeff Porto with Shedskin Reptiles and Zion Johnson with the Tracy comic show. And we're talking about the upcoming show in November 4th and 5th in Tracy. Back to back, buy one ticket, get both shows. Woohoo! That's
Both
awesome.
days.
Yes. Zion was going to talk about one of the comic books that they are working on and have put together. It's called Harmony. I actually saw a little bit about that on your Facebook page. So can you tell us a little bit more about what it's about and how it came about? It's kind of a cool concept, actually. Let me see if I can find it. Go ahead and give us some info on it.
Harmony is a comic based on like a superhero that is deaf, and so she uses like signing abilities to have certain like powers of mystical sorts.
Really creative.
Yeah, it's the first like real superhero to be completely deaf. There is like Hawkeye and stuff that uses hearing aids and stuff, but it's trying to get out to like deaf communities and stuff and show them that there can be characters that relate to them more.
That's awesome. That is really cool. So, who wrote that? Who wrote the story?
So it's been like a collaborative effort between like my two sisters, Rachel and Morgan, and then this artist and like he's actually setting up the book. His name is Lawrence Iriarty, and so the collaborative effort is to like write the comics plot and story, but then also like when it comes to the art and design, he does that and stuff, and then we'll look over and see what we like and stuff like that.
So we can get that graphic novel or comic book over at the Tracy Comic Show.
Yeah.
Okay. And will they have it also available at like different venues or different locations after the comic show?
I believe we will have it released for a certain amount of time after the fact. I'm not sure what the time period is going to be for that, but we should have it there.
Sweet.
Okay. And there's also another little story about the magazine, why it came out, or the
like regarding Morgan's future.
Morgan, tell us about that.
Morgan's teacher in high school for American Sign Language ended up passing away because of cancer and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But so the main character is based off of her teacher and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the origin of that as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. She was obviously inspired by her teacher. Must have been one of those good teachers. Like, you remember, until you're into adulthood. I know I've had a few of those. Most of them were literature teachers too. They were mostly my English teachers. I remember really well. Let's see. I've got some questions looks like it's for Jeff.
Uh-oh. My hair okay?
Yeah, your hair looks awesome. Do you have an apprentice program? This one's from Richie.
Not really. In my store, we have a lot of dangerous things, and I do have a lot of people that come in, and I'm assuming this is for if we can come in and help. And
probably.
And it's hard for me to choose. No matter what, you have to be an adult. You have to be at least 18 years old because of the dangerous things we have. And this is more of a mom and pop store at this moment. I've only been open for about 5 years, and it's getting there. I do have people that volunteer to help me in my expos, my educational programs, like going to the library, as we pointed out earlier. We do go to schools, and the more people have to show up on those, you guys get to learn on how to pass them around to the kids.
Just to handle them is really...
And you learn,
it's crazy.
The animals themselves.
Right, and then you're able to handle them yourself and find out which are the good ones to handle. But because there's a lot of venomous things involved, and even the ones that aren't venomous, some can be dangerous.
Some have teeth, and some don't. Some have bigger teeth, and
Yeah.
some have smaller
So
teeth.
as far as that program, there's a volunteer that we do, but we do question you to make sure that you have some information about reptiles, and we
at least have a
push
small
you.
background on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want somebody who's like, you hand them the snake, they're like,
Yeah.
they move their hand out of the way, and then it's all bad.
But I want to get better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Here's another question. This is actually a really good question because we have a lot of the garden snakes in this area, what are some of the ways to keep garden snakes out of your yard, or any kind of snake for that matter? If there's like a particular, I can't imagine rattlers being out here, but I know garters are.
Oh yeah, you have actually they're sorry, but they're called garter snakes.
Yeah.
Garter.
Oh. Well, maybe you meant garden snakes in general. Are there any garden snakes in general?
The snakes you'll find out here, and the only ones you'll find out here, there are some that are very that they're almost extinct, but and there's so many homes out here. But it's gopher and king snakes. The gopher snakes, sometimes people accidentally see them as rattlesnakes, but they're not. The gopher snakes are harmless. King snakes are harmless, but do they bite? Of course they do. If I'm being picked up by somebody who's 5, 6, 7 feet tall, I'm gonna scream and bite you too.
Defense mechanisms,
exactly.
people.
Oh, they'll they'll go to the bathroom on you. Sorry. They'll actually flick their tails. All colubrids do that. They flick their tails to make you think that they're a rattlesnake. But it's almost impossible to keep them out of your yard. And here's one good thing. I know you might be scared of them and you don't want them in your yard, but even though there's a large population of mice out there, it would be even larger if we didn't have snakes. And that's what the snakes do, is take care of the mouse population.
And gophers and all that stuff.
Yeah, and gophers.
That's a trip. Talking about like different, keeping the population down with it. We had a whole bunch of pigeons that always roosted on our rooftop. And this is like a small tract home community.
Yeah.
And then one year we saw a bunch of like owls just hunting at night, falcons, and I don't see them anymore. I haven't seen them in the past couple seasons. I didn't see them last year, but the year before that it was really bad. So I don't know what happened, where nature just kind of balanced itself off somehow with the bigger, larger predatory birds, but no more pigeons. Yeah. Not around my community anymore. I don't know what happened. We were even thinking about putting like, those little spiky things for the pigeons that they don't. But yeah, just to keep that balance in your yard when you have snakes, that does keep away the field mice that could possibly just enter your home. There's a lot of field mice out here. There's a lot of little rabbits too.
Yeah, so there's a fear of snakes, but don't let it bother you too much. They're not venomous. The only one venomous out here is rattlesnakes, and once in a while you do find one, but mostly it's in the area where there's more fields, less homes, because when we build homes, that's what moves the animals out. It
displaces them, and they're like, oh, where am I going to go now?
Right.
Well, they might end up in your living room.
But they are more scared than you are, so just leave them alone, and they'll move on.
Yeah. Okay, so I have the last question. Do you do a lot of mixed shows like the one you have coming up in Tracy, or is this the first time doing something like this? Oh, the
comics
back to back, comic and
This is our
reptile.
third year doing it together.
Yeah.
We were doing just the Reptile Expo, and then we found out it was easier to do them both at the same time. So it's our third year, and we plan on doing it for as long as we can. But again, the only thing that's going to change is probably location, and because Tracy doesn't have a big warehouse style that we can house both in there, we have to move to another city.
I can't imagine Tracy not having a big
they're missing the boat
arena
there.
or something. Oh, we have the Stockton arena.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can come here. You're always welcome here, I'm sure.
Yeah. Civic Center in Modesto is big enough to handle all that.
Pretty big too.
But regarding this is the only show that I'm aware of that is a combination of comics and reptiles. Like everything else we do is either specifically reptiles or specifically comics.
Nice. So I'm trying to figure out, I wasn't really into comic books or graphic. Well, I started getting into graphic novels when I started reading Neil Gaiman's Sandman series. That I think was more of my, detour into graphic novels. But before that, I was more into reptiles. So you think there's kind of like a combination of people kind of enjoying both at one time, then this show is perfect for you.
While you're reading your comic book, you have your snake around your neck, and
there you go.
You like the warmth of your
They'll keep you warm.
Bearded dragon. Yeah. I'm sure one of these comic books will implement a animal into the.
The Wonder Twin powers activate.
In order to be powerful in your comic book, you have to have this emotional support animal, which could be your snake,
like your familiar.
There you go.
Yeah. Some people say, the cat is their familiar. But so let's see. Okay, any more questions? Nope, that's it for now. Is there anything else you guys want to share about the show that we haven't covered yet? I think we covered a lot already. Like talked about harmony, talked about the different vendors. And for those of you that are just tuning in, I'm here with Jeff Porto with Shedskin Reptiles and Zion Johnson with Tracy Comic Show. The event, once again, is taking place November 4th and 5th, Saturday and Sunday at Northgate Village. Oh, okay, that's the name of the place, the shopping center.
It used to be called Tracy Outlets.
Oh, that's right. Northgate Village used to be Tracy Outlets. 1005 East Pescadero Avenue in Tracy. And they've got some really good guests, like Kevin Eastman. Who's Kevin Eastman? Tell us Kevin Eastman. Who is
one
that?
of the creators for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But
did he do like the actual like graphic stuff, like drawings? Or did he do the writing?
I believe he was the
creator.
Just the whole concept of it, probably.
I think they both contributed to doing the writing and the art, but I could be mistaken on that. But some cool stuff as well. Like I know we kind of covered on the cosplays and stuff, and like people can come as cosplayers and stuff like that, or in costumes, which is like right after Halloween, so that's nice.
Yes.
Also, we're gonna be having like some like professional cosplayers, and there's gonna be even like vehicles in the front, like for Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park vehicles. There's gonna be even stuff for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that, which is gonna be cool.
So you guys, you have to go and check it out. I think I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna mention it again. I'm gonna paint some rocks, and I'm gonna add these passes to them. I have like a stack of passes still, and I was waiting until we were closer to the date, because when Jeff first gave these to me, it was back in June, and who knows what would have happened if I tried to like distribute these back in June. But I still have them, and I'm going to go ahead next week, instead of having the Breaking Barrier show, I'm going to put some of these passes out there for you guys to find. And I'll also give reminders on my Facebook page as well, to let you know that, you know, they're going out there and what areas they're going to be in. I'll probably give some hints and maybe take some pictures of the area where I'd placed them, so it's not too difficult to find, because we don't really want them out there for very long. But yeah, I have a whole stack of them. I'm pretty stoked about that, and I'm definitely gonna go and check it out. So let's see, we have let me see if we got the other.
You know, and even though you might not think this is a huge Comic-Con or comic show or in Reptile Expo, this is only our 5th year, and everything grows with participants. So and if you're that much of a comic geek or a reptile enthusiast, you got to come out. You got to go to them all.
Definitely. And then your regular store hours, I'm just looking at it here on the website, shedskin.net, is like you guys are open all week except for Thursdays, right?
Yep. 11 to 7 all day, all week except for Thursdays.
So if you guys want to go check out the store prior to the show or even after the show, check it out. Very knowledgeable staff there, and they probably got a whole bunch of things that you can get people started with the reptiles.
Oh yeah.
What are some of you guys got any new snakes in there that I don't think I saw last time? I don't know.
Well, pretty much everything is born in the store.
Yeah.
That's why I don't sell the large animals, because those are our baby makers, if you want to make it plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had a couple of red-eared slider baby turtles born. Some Dumeral boas.
What are the Dumeral boas?
It's like a red-tailed boa. It's similar. It gets large, at 7-8 feet.
Mangroves are in the store again, like on display.
Mangrove venomous snakes, false water cobras. What other babies we have born? We have some soft shell turtles, which are normal turtles, but they're soft shells, just the way they sound.
Some frilled dragons.
Frilled dragons.
Wait, if they're soft shell, then how the heck are they going to protect themselves from predators?
It's almost like a leathery type thing, and most of it, they like to bite, and they hide themselves underneath the gravel, so that's
okay. So that's their defense mechanism. Yeah.
And as Zion said, we have some frilled dragons, which are the ones that in Jurassic Park where they had the thing. They don't spit tar. That would be kind of cool. They'd be more expensive if they did that. But you know, the frilled dragons. We have some babies that are about 3 months old. We have 16-month-old ones.
How big do those get? They don't get as big as the ones at Jurassic Park.
Oh no! Well, that'd be so cool too if they did. They'd be more expensive. I wouldn't have a dog if they had. But you're looking at maybe at the most 3 feet long. That's including the tail.
That's a good size.
Yeah, but they're awesome. I mean, especially when you're in a group with people and they say, "Hey, we got a new puppy," and you say, "Well, I got a frilled dragon, or a cobra, or something like that," and they look at you like you're weird.
Oh, okay. I need to check that out. I don't think I've seen those before.
Yeah.
So when they get scared or whatever, how do you get them to get scared so they can just show off?
When we go to, like this weekend, we're going to a church called Southwinds Church in Tracy, and we're doing a big thing for a couple thousand people. And we usually bring a light bulb, and at the end of the light bulb where it screws in looks like the nose of a snake. So we hide that behind our back and hold the frill dragon and put it up next to them, and they think it's a snake, and they do their thing.
Wow.
That's for two reasons: to scare the crap, scare you, or
get bigger as well.
Or to make
you guys
look,
gonna get me in trouble.
Sorry, or to make you look bigger. That's all it's for, to make you look bigger. So if it scares you, they did their job.
Yeah, that's awesome. 3 feet long though, and they're just do they have like different colors, or do they change colors like a chameleon, or
no,
stay pretty?
Not at all.
Okay.
Only chameleons
That
do.
is their.
But they like to be in trees. So they're arboreal. You have to have a tall cage for them, and they're insectivores. They will eat meat once in a while, which is little pinky mice. You might have to get yourself past that.
Poor little pinky mice.
But crickets, mealworms,
So
cockroaches,
sad.
all that good stuff that people don't like.
Yeah, those are. I could care less about the cockroaches and the mealyworms. Those, yeah.
If you do come to the store, there's one thing I'll tell you is that we will tell you exactly what you need, what's good for you, what's good for the family, because that's what our main goal is, not to sell you an anaconda when you have little Johnny and Mary who are only 4 and 5 years old, is to give you the right type of lizard or snake that's good for the family.
Yeah. So the 3 foot one, that would involve like a pretty good sized enclosure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as it's
right?
tall. It should be about 4 feet tall at least.
Mm-hmm.
They like to be in the trees.
I remember my brother he made his own enclosure for his monitor. So he got a bunch of plywood and he just hammered everything together, took some plexiglass, and he made it real elaborate. There was one that like opened in the front.
Nice.
And there was one hinge that opened up on top. And back then he spray painted it with like, I don't even know if this was safe for the monitor, but and you know that little speckled paint that was like textured kind of. He had that in black. He sprayed it. I'm like, wow, that's cool. But the monitor was very happy. But a lot of times he didn't even keep it in there. Oh. It just kind of roamed around the house.
Oh, great.
Yeah, my mom wasn't too happy about that.
Scampering across the kitchen floor.
Well, it was mostly in his room.
Nice.
So, yeah, it pretty much stayed in there. But do you have any funny stories about the reptiles that you've had, like in the store or anything? Anything interesting or memorable?
Oh, of course. I mean, accidents do happen. When people ask, do things ever get out? No, they don't get out. Sometimes we forget that we're feeding something in a bucket and we're doing something else. We come back to the bucket and it's gone. I've had that happen with a couple of venomous snakes where I had to close down the store.
Wait. You were feeding something. Okay, it was in the bucket. And then
we go off and do something else.
And then it was.
And it's gone.
Yeah. My goodness.
That's okay. I mean, it's. I will definitely take the bite if there's customers in the store and there's something loose. I will take the bite before they do, and it happens. I mean, it's just one of those things to deal with. Now, every Thursday, or just about every Thursday, I go out to Sacramento to help this guy deal with more highly venomous things, help him feed and clean and all that stuff, and we deal with some highly venomous things. You name a venomous animal, and it's there. It's just because he's got the permits to have all these things, and he does programs and stuff and sells these things, and that's what I'm in the process of doing, and get all my stuff so we can have alligators and what have you in the store.
Yeah.
Exotic stuff.
When I had my python, I had to go to store, buy the mice or whatever, and then my brother had like the lizards. He had the crickets and everything, but never failed. Whenever we went to the store in the car and on our way back home, one of them would get loose because they just put them in a paper bag. Like the mice would be in a paper bag and it would like gnaw its way through. Oh yeah.
Well, we hope you're only like 15 minutes away, not 3 hours away.
Well, see, that was the thing. At that time, we didn't have. It was like 10 minutes away, but still, I don't know. It just kind of got out somehow, and it got out of the car. The car smelled forever because we couldn't find it, but we knew it was in there after a few days.
Well, I've been told that I couldn't find my way out of a paper bag, but I know a mouse or a rat can. So,
but yeah, so that was my story. And then the crickets would just be those are a lot of fun. But
crickets all around the store, and if you get them, just throw them in with the turtles and stuff like that.
Yep. So when it comes to feeding time, you guys feed them all at one time? Like, or do you like have different schedules for different pets, for different animals?
When you go in the store, there's probably close to 400 animals you're actually looking at. And then there's quite a few hundred more in the back. Then we have mice, rats, rabbits, and those got to eat every day.
Yes.
Because we breed our own as much as we can. So every day is feeding day for something. Every day is cleaning day for everything. So we get to it as best we can. But every day there's when you see us sitting down, that's actually us taking a break. And we don't get to take breaks much. But there's always something to do. Something needs to either get sprayed, cleaned, fed, moved around. Someone laid eggs. Something's hatching. And it sounds like a lot of work.
Is it like running around all over the place trying to get all this?
It sounds like a lot of work, but it's a hobby that's gotten out of hand. I understand that, but it is fun. I love cleaning the cages because then I know that they're that much happier knowing that they're in a clean cage. Mm-hmm. They're getting their water, and even though feeding time sounds kind of gross, and I'm not one of those freaks that like to see things getting killed, except that it's good to know that they're eating. That means they're healthy. They're pooping. They're healthy.
They're doing their thing. Yeah, the whole cycle is going through. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
And they're breeding, so that also is included.
When did you start getting? I think we talked about this last time too, but
7 years old.
7 years old.
Found my first gopher snake, and I thought it was a stick, and I went to go pick it up. Rode my bike past it real fast, and went, "Oh, a stick." Picked it up. It was a snake. Brought it home. I still have the picture of it wrapped around my head, saying, "Mom, can I keep it?"
I want to see that picture.
Promised her it'd never get out, and everything I had at that age got out. So I can remember my dad leaning on the ground, as he always did, watch TV with his hand up there on his head, and a hamster crawled across his arm, and all he did was scream out my name, going, "Jeff, something got out." So
wait, okay, this was before you had your reptiles, though, right?
Oh yeah, this is when I had hamsters
and
stuff like that. So.
Okay, because I was gonna say, well, the hamsters might end up eating the
Hamsters
the snake might be
yeah,
that wouldn't be good.
No.
So again, you guys, we're gonna wrap this up right now. It's check them out at Tracy Comics Show, November 4th and 5th at the Northgate Village Shopping Center, 1005 East Pescadero Avenue. It's going to be a combo of the Reptile Expo and the comic show. Thank you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
As Elvis would say, thank you very much.
Your hair looks great, Jeff.
Thanks.
Your hair looks great.